Dear friends, I am starting the second session of trigonometry, that is the basic trigonometric ratios. What is a ratio? Ratio is a comparison of two similar quantities. In this right angled triangle, we have three sides. Let us compare two sides at a time. Out of these three, if we take two at a time, how many possible comparisons or ratios will we get? The first one will be the comparison between opposite side and hypotenuse. Second one will be adjacent by hypotenuse. The third one is opposite by adjacent side. Fourth one will be adjacent by opposite side. Fifth one will be hypotenuse by adjacent side. And sixth one will be hypotenuse by opposite side. These are the only 6 ratios that we get when we compare any two sides from this right angled triangle. And each one of these ratios are different. They are not the same. And for each ratio, we will give a name. The comparison of opposite side by hypotenuse will give a name. Likewise, we'll give names to the other 5. The first ratio, opposite side by hypotenuse, is called as sine of theta. Second ratio is adjacent side by hypotenuse, that is called as cos of theta. The ratio opposite side by adjacent side is called as tangent of theta. The ratio adjacent side by opposite side is called as cotangent of theta. The ratio hypotenuse by adjacent side is called as secant of theta. And the ratio hypotenuse by opposite is called as cosecant of theta. So in this right angled triangle, the opposite side is AB and the hypotenuse is AC. So sine of theta is AB by AC in this right angled triangle with reference to angle C being taken as theta. If you take angle A as theta, then automatically the opposite side will change. Cosine of theta is adjacent side. Adjacent side to the angle theta is BC. BC divided by hypotenuse is AC. Tangent of theta is defined as opposite side. Opposite side to theta is AB. Adjacent side to theta is BC. Cotangent of theta is defined as adjacent side by opposite side. Adjacent side is BC, the opposite side being AB. Secant of theta, we define it as hypotenuse by adjacent side, that is equal to hypotenuse is AC, adjacent side is BC. And the last one is cosecant of theta, that is hypotenuse by opposite side. Hypotenuse in this right angled triangle is AC, by opposite side is AB. So these are the 6 basic trigonometric ratios. Sine of theta, opposite by hypotenuse. Cos of theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. Tangent of theta is opposite side by adjacent side. Cotangent of theta is adjacent side by opposite side. Secant of theta is hypotenuse by adjacent side. Cosecant theta is hypotenuse by opposite side. Now, if you see sine of theta into cosecant of theta, sine theta into cosecant theta equal to, sine of theta is defined as AB by AC into cosecant theta is defined by AC by AB. Or if I go back to the original definition, sine of theta is opposite by hypotenuse, cosecant of theta is hypotenuse by opposite side. And whenever I use these abbreviations, opposite and hypotenuse and adjacent, always remember I am referring this angle theta, and with reference to that angle theta, I am taking the opposite side and adjacent side. Now, AB cancels mutually, AC cancels mutually to give you 1. Therefore, sine of theta into cosecant of theta is equal to 1. And what is the meaning of that? That means sine of theta is equal to 1 by cosecant theta. And it also means cosecant theta is equal to 1 divided by sine of theta. They are called reciprocal ratios. Sine theta, the first ratio, is equal to 1 by cosecant theta, the sixth ratio. Cosecant theta is equal to 1 by sine theta. The product of sine theta and cosecant theta is 1. Similarly, the second ratio cos theta into the fifth ratio secant theta is equal to 1. The meaning of that is cos theta is equal to 1 by secant theta. Also, secant theta is equal to 1 by cos theta. So, cos theta is 1 by secant theta and secant theta is 1 by cos theta. And the third pair of the reciprocal ratios, tangent of theta, the third one, and the fourth one, cotangent of theta, if we multiply, we get 1. Therefore, tangent of theta is equal to 1 by cotangent of theta, and cotangent of theta is equal to 1 by tangent of theta. So, dear friends, we had chosen a right angled triangle and I have named it as ABC. Angle B is 90. The other two angles, angle A and angle C, are acute angles. I have chosen one of the angles as theta, that is angle C. With reference to angle C, AB becomes the opposite side, BC becomes the adjacent side, and AC is the side which we already know as the hypotenuse. And we have defined 6 ratios. As I told you earlier, a ratio is a comparison of two similar quantities. Here, what are we comparing? We are comparing two sides of a right angled triangle. If I compare opposite side and hypotenuse, that is called a sine of theta. Likewise, we define 6 ratios. And these 6 ratios are called as basic trigonometric ratios. You will have to know these 6 ratios. Please give more time to learn the 6 ratios, and preferably in this order. Their order is sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, cotangent of theta, secant theta, and cosecant of theta. If you can see my write-up, the first and the last one are arrowed, second and fifth one are arrowed, third and fourth one are arrowed. What do these arrows stand for? The arrow stands for the reciprocal ratios. Sine of theta and cosecant theta are reciprocals. Cos of theta and secant of theta are reciprocals. Tangent of theta and cotangent of theta are reciprocals. Reciprocal means If I multiply sine of theta and cosecant of theta, I'll get 1. Similarly, cos of theta and secant of theta, if I multiply, I get 1. Tangent of theta and cotangent of theta, if I multiply, I get 1. Please revise, again revise, write, share it with your friends, cross-check whether you have learnt it right, practice it many number of times, and then probably you'll be able to tell that you have learnt the trigonometric ratios properly. It is told that our brain has a capacity of forgetting 83% of what we had learned within 24 hours if it is not repeated, if it is not rewritten, if it is not revised. So dear friends, please see that you allot time, a little more time compared to the other subjects for mathematics. Revise, rewrite, and then you will be able to remember all these that we have taught you properly. It is not difficult, but it needs more time. Please take care, be at home, stay safe, and be preparing. I'll meet you tomorrow with the third session of trigonometry.